My name is Valerie, and I am the Director of Pediatrics at Endless Journey Hospice. So for pediatric hospice, a giant misconception is that children have to stop curative or disease-directed care when they sign on to hospice services. With the Affordable Care Act, when that was passed in 2010, they mandated that states that had to provide simultaneous care with disease-directed care and hospice services, so they don't have to choose like adults do.
So I think one of the biggest things about pediatric hospice that people don't know is that kids can still receive curative treatments, care. They can still be full codes. They can still go to the hospital. They can still receive like their chemo treatments, or if they need to go in for fluids, or if they have like a respiratory virus and need to be in the hospital for a little bit. They can still do all of those things while still receiving hospice services. Kids can still get that concurrent care, which I think is a huge unknown in the community as far as what we can and can't do.
I know a really big misconception about hospice is that once you get put on hospice, you're placed in a bed and pumped full of morphine until you pass, and that is not the case at all. We actually offer so much more, just getting to know the family and transitioning, and we always just meet our patients right where they're at to help that progression. So we don't just speed things along. So that's a big misconception.
That as soon as you start morphine, you're gonna die. Not true.
I think the most common misconception is that you have to be actively dying to enroll in our services. I think with hospice, the sooner the better. We have so many really cool programs and things that we can help provide to just make everything so much easier.
I think the biggest misconception would be that either the patient or the family thinks they're going to die within a few days, and so they often will want to wait when they could be receiving some of the wonderful things hospice can offer for weeks to months instead of just days.
And I think the biggest misconception of hospice is that we're here to make people die, which is completely the opposite. We're here to just make people comfortable and have a good end of life.
The biggest misconception of hospice, I believe, is the word hospice. Everybody gets scared of it, thinking that they will just come here and die, and that's not always the case. We're here to help keep them comfortable and keep them from going to the hospital as much.
I have one misconception, but it's really people are not really educated on what hospice is, right? You see, I think the misconception is, oh, I'm putting my loved one on hospice, they're gonna die. Like they're gonna die, and it's completely wrong, right? It's not quantity of life, it's quality of life. So we have so many different services that really helps our patients or client and their families kind of get through this really intimate time.
The big misconception in hospice would be that hospice means death, means it's time to exit.
The biggest misconception in hospice that I hear and see is that when people hear that word, they simply think of death and dying. I think that sometimes people feel like they're giving up on life, when in reality, I think that when people reach a certain stage in their life and when they qualify for hospice services, when I hear hospice, I think of comfort and quality of life.
The biggest misconception about hospice is everybody thinks that it's the end. I think we give you more of a beginning. You come with my team and we're with you the whole entire time. You're no longer alone. There's a phone call. We're here. There's a lifeline. If you need someone to talk to or a counselor, or if you need a social worker or a nurse in the middle of the night, call. We're right here.